Hello, and welcome to this online short training course on engaging stakeholders, available at the University of Florida. I am Pierre William Blanc, and it is my honor to lead you to this second module. In this module, we will learn the basic concepts and methods of stakeholder engagement. So, we should start with a basic definition of stakeholder engagement. What is stakeholder engagement? In research projects, stakeholder engagement is more of a process in which stakeholders collaborate to reach a common goal. In this process, the research project counts on the participation and contribution of all stakeholders. But who are the stakeholders? In a research project, a stakeholder is any group, any person, any organization who have a stake in any aspect of your research project. They can either affect or be affected by the outcomes of your project. Sometimes, a stakeholder can either show interest or be concerned about your research project. So whatever the situation, you want all stakeholders to engage in a supportive way with your research project. However, given the different types of stakeholders, it can be difficult to make all of them support your project. So here we're going to see several types of stakeholders. Let's say the main stakeholders in livestock. Well, it is difficult to find or to define an exhaustive list of type of stakeholders because the type of stakeholders depend on the groups or organizations to which they belong to. For example, we have producers and other value chain actors, including dairy or meat processors, sellers. We have private sector businesses. We have trade associations. We have community members and leaders, government representatives, non-profit organizations, and researchers. Yes, researchers. So anyone who has a stake in your research project can be considered as a stakeholder. So I am pretty sure you can add other stakeholders to the list. Now, let's see what the engagement process looks like. A stakeholder engagement process is a recurrent process in which stakeholders interact, communicate to share information based on their knowledge, experience, judgment, and values. So as a researcher, you want to repeat the process using each time appropriate methods and strategies for effective decision making. Here, we present two basic groups of methods for successful stakeholder engagement. Methods that focus on dissemination of information, such as information session or briefing reports, and so on. Sometimes sharing information about your research project through channels that are accessible to a stakeholder can increase the engagement level in your research project. Also, there are methods that encourage dialogue, interaction, such as workshop, focus group, office happy hours, and social media. Again, depending on the type of stakeholders, it is up to you to try and identify which methods are more appropriate for the effective engagement of each type of your stakeholder. Finally, there are some basic concepts you need to keep in mind when planning for successful stakeholder engagement. Aligning the stakeholder expectation and needs with your project objectives can improve stakeholder relations. Building trust. Trust plays an important role if you want to have a serious and open interaction with your stakeholders. Motivations. If you keep your stakeholders interested, motivated, it is more likely to have a stronger relationship with them. Participation. Another concept that is really important for decision making, because a high degree of participation of all stakeholders can contribute to effective decision making. Now, we have completed our second module. We have started out with a few basics such as what is a stakeholder, And now you have an understanding of the stakeholder engagement process, the methods and concepts you can use to plan for successful stakeholder engagement in your research project. Here we have the main references used for this presentation. Here we have a disclaimer to acknowledge USAID as one of the primary funder of this course. Thank you for your attention, and see you next time.